We start in the Hamptons, which is a staple of New York socialites that you haven't yet seen. And, you know, we've all kind of dated each other, so we have to date more people or each other's parents. And I don't know.
If I'm dead to you, why are you at the wake? Cursing my name.
Breaking news, Justin Baldoni just got a big win, meaning Blake Lively got a big loss.
The judge in Blake Lively's case just slapped down their psychopathic request.
And the court said no.
Are her lawyers dumb? Is this truly a win for Justin and a loss for Blake?
Absolutely a win for Justin, and you're absolutely right, Andy, in your interpretation of the document. What they said is basically, they told you to go, you have to go meet and confer, and to even come up with more narrow requests.
A lot of this sort of like Blake complaining that they're invading the privacy, they're doing all this, but then meanwhile, right, she's on Saturday Night Live with Ryan making jokes, hitting back. I mean, is it not a little hypocritical? Is this a bad look of her if she's trying to tell the courts that we should stop talking about this?
Did you really think Blake Lively just became a mean girl overnight? Think again. America Ferrera just exposed Blake's dark past, revealing how she fat-shamed her during Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants. And if you thought this was just a one-time incident, you're in for a shock, because this behavior goes way deeper than anyone realized.
I think it makes perfect sense that the girls that are so different are such good friends. I'm very different than a lot of my friends, but I just think that, you know, as long as you guys support each other and think highly of the person, and I try to surround myself with people that I want to be more like, that I see qualities in them, and I'm like, they're a really great person. I want to be around them more because I would love to be like that.
Blake might have built her image as Hollywood's golden girl, but behind the scenes, the mask is slipping. Let's get into how America Ferrera just put Blake Lively on blast for being the biggest hypocrite in Hollywood.
In the interview, you can see Blake excitedly answering the question the interviewer asked, while America looks bored and even rolls her eyes at some point.
Back in 2005, Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants seemed like the ultimate friendship movie. 4 actresses, Blake Lively, America Ferrera, Alexis Bledel, and Amber Tamblyn, playing best friends who share a magical pair of jeans? Sounds wholesome, right? But behind the scenes, it wasn't as picture perfect. America Ferrera, who was still early in her career, felt alienated by her co-stars, particularly by Blake Lively. While the media loved portraying the group as close-knit, rumors swirled that America didn't vibe with them the same way.
Promoting the Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants 2, stars America Ferrera and Blake Lively stopped by Good Day LA, and the conversation quickly turned to Gossip Girl, like all conversations do now. That's when Miss Ferrera and I forged our own Sisterhood of the Traveling contempt for Gossip Girl.
If you haven't seen Gossip Girl, just about everything has happened. Unbelievable. No, you'd be surprised how much hasn't happened. You know, at the end of the first season, I was like, okay, well, what happens now? But we have a few more characters already in the beginning of the first season that come in and mess up our lives even more. We start in the Hamptons, which is a staple of New York socialites that you haven't yet seen. And, you know, we've all kind of dated each other, so we have to date more people or each other's parents, and I don't know.
Let the clip run. She strangles her. We'll be right back after this dirty mouth moment.
And now, we finally know why. America has subtly hinted at how the on-set dynamics weren't as supportive as they appeared. And her latest revelation is putting Blake's past behavior under a microscope. America recently opened up about the struggles she faced as a Latina actress in Hollywood. And one shocking revelation: she experienced body shaming from a fellow co-star. While she didn't name drop, fans quickly connected the dots. Multiple sources have since come forward, revealing that Blake Lively was known for making playful comments about America's weight. Except they weren't playful at all. Blake allegedly made remarks about how America stood out next to the rest of the group, implying she didn't fit the Hollywood standard like the other actresses. Even worse, when America expressed discomfort, Blake doubled down instead of stopping. According to insiders, America would laugh off the jokes in public, but behind the scenes, she was deeply affected. Blake, meanwhile, continued to brush it off, gaslighting America into thinking she was just overreacting. This isn't the first time Blake allegedly turned people against a co-star. There have been whispers in Hollywood about her behind-the-scenes influence, and not in a good way. Penn Badgley, who played Dan Humphrey on Gossip Girl, reportedly found himself isolated on set after his split from Blake. While it's normal for exes to have some distance, insiders say Blake went out of her way to make things uncomfortable for Penn. She reportedly encouraged other cast members to keep their distance from him. This even affected his career, as casting directors were hesitant to work with someone who had supposedly become difficult. And then there's Leighton Meester. Leighton Meester and Blake Lively played besties on Gossip Girl, but in real life, they were far from friends. While Leighton has always been professional and reserved about their feud, several insiders claim Blake would make subtle, passive-aggressive jabs about Leighton's past. Leighton was born while her mother was serving time in prison, and despite overcoming a difficult childhood, Blake allegedly made jokes that cut deep. Even Gossip Girl producers later admitted that the two actresses were never close, and it was clear that Blake enjoyed making that fact known.
Monkey with coordinating outfits, and I was like, I would love to be part of the show, but I can't act with a monkey. And then I got a few of them. I'm just kidding.
Got a few of them.
Come on, it was a joke.
Fast forward to today, and history is repeating itself with It Ends With Us. Blake allegedly sabotaged her own co-star, Justin Baldoni, behind the scenes. Justin was not only starring in the movie, but also directing it, until suddenly he wasn't.
We do have It Starts With Us, so I'm hoping to see you back in the double duty role.
I think there are better people for that one.
Justin.
I think Blake Lively's ready to direct. That's what I think.
Ooh.
So, yeah.
Justin said he doesn't know if he'd be game to direct the next one, but perhaps Blake would. Is that something that you would entertain?
Oh, absolutely. I think that whoever decides to take charge of the next one would do it justice. But, you know, it's a lot of people to get the same schedules together again, so we'll see.
Oh, absolutely. She's so capable of that. She is a powerhouse. She could do literally anything.
Sources claim Blake used Ryan Reynolds' influence to push Justin out of the creative process. She reportedly made significant script changes without Justin's approval, taking full control over the film's direction. Fans were already raising eyebrows over Blake's casting in the first place, since she's significantly older than the character she's supposed to play. But now, the drama behind the scenes might be even messier than what's on screen. Let's talk about how Blake's mean girl energy extends beyond co-stars. It even trickles into her friendships. Blake has long been one of Taylor Swift's besties, but this might explain why she's had issues with Anna Kendrick.
Met Blake a few times through Ryan on that film.
Got it.
And thought she seemed nice, and little did I know.
Yeah. We got the body language experts analyzing this right now. How quickly do you...
Don't touch me.
How quickly do you know if you're gonna gel with a co-star? Is it like day one, you're like, okay, I'm in this and it's not working, or?
I feel like it's pretty rapid cognition for me.
Yeah, I think you know, but there's some people, like, I've had people who, like, I don't necessarily, like, we're not best buddies at all moments, but, like, do we do well together on screen? And there's some people that, like, we're best buddies, and then on screen it's like, so you just never really know.
Right.
And so, I don't know, but it's fun. But you definitely know once you're shooting, like, who
this is what it's gonna be.
gel with and who you don't. And, like, and that was what's so great about this movie, is that the characters on the page can be a little bit more, like, black and white. Like, these two women, we didn't totally understand how they would come together and be friends, but once we got in it, once we started playing, and once Paul sort of created that environment, we stepped into our characters and our wardrobe and saw how over the top we could be in moments and how, you know, honest we could be in others. It just sort of, like, all came together in a way.
Yeah.
Anna once made a joke about Taylor's perfect American girl persona, and Blake allegedly took it personally. Fast forward to when they worked together on A Simple Favor, and insiders say Blake made life miserable for Anna.
You are very active on social media, and there are a lot of people have opinions about you. How do you kind of just, like, you know, not let it affect you at all?
Everyone's opinion of me is just so positive. I do let it affect me. I do. Because everyone's like, you're great, and I'm like, I know.
You're not great. Blocked.
Yeah.
Do you block people ever?
No, I've muted some people. Now that it's a function on Twitter and Instagram, there's a couple people that I have muted.
Good.
Yeah. Blake Lively.
You can mute people on Instagram too?
Yeah, it's a new feature.
Really?
I know. Get excited.
Wow, that's exciting.
But you replied to someone recently, I think, which they made headlines about.
Oh, really?
Instagram. Yes. Someone
Oh,
was
God.
saying something about spelling or something, and you just.
Oh my gosh, I always appreciate when people correct me. It was someone said something about the spacing. I still really don't know how social media works. So if someone tells me how to fix spacing on something, hyperlinks. Who knows how to work a hyperlink?
I don't know.
I use an iPhone. It does everything for me.
Yeah.
It's giving Regina George, but make it Hollywood. Blake Lively has long branded herself as a champion of women's empowerment, but does her behavior match her words? While she often posts about female solidarity on social media, her actions behind the scenes tell a different story. Take her business ventures, for example. Blake has launched multiple projects aimed at empowering women, but former employees have accused her of fostering a toxic workplace culture. Complaints range from dismissive behavior to outright favoritism, reinforcing the idea that her girl's girl persona is just a PR strategy. Even some of her red carpet moments seem questionable. Remember when she interrupted a journalist to correct them about feminism, only to later contradict herself in another interview? It's clear that Blake wants to be seen as a strong, supportive woman, but only when it benefits her image. The more layers you peel back, the less shiny Blake Lively's image appears. From America Ferrera to Penn Badgley, Leighton Meester, Justin Baldoni, and Anna Kendrick, there's a pattern. And yet, she continues to present herself as the ultimate girl's girl. So, was Blake's Mean Girl era just beginning? Or has it been there all along? Let me know what you think in the comments. Hollywood's golden girl, Blake Lively, just had her world turned upside down in a courtroom showdown that has the entire entertainment industry buzzing.
Blake's case is falling apart. She's destroying her cred.
A judge's devastating ruling has exposed the Gossip Girl star to public scrutiny in ways she never imagined, leaving her reputation hanging by a thread. The explosive legal battle between Lively and her It Ends With Us co-star Justin Baldoni has taken a dramatic turn that no one saw coming.
I'm not asking anyone to not believe anyone. I am more than willing to take every single text message that exists out there, lay them out, put them on a website for the world to see, have them see the truth and determine the truth for themselves.
The courtroom drama reached its boiling point when Judge Louis Lyman completely rejected Lively's outrageous demands and delivered a humiliating blow to the actress and her legal team. What started as a lawsuit over alleged harassment quickly spiraled into a high-stakes battle of Hollywood power plays, with shocking revelations threatening to tear down the pristine image Lively has carefully cultivated for years. In a stunning move that left onlookers speechless, Lively's attorneys demanded access to an astounding 2.5 years' worth of Justin Baldoni's private communications, including text messages, calls, and even his GPS location data. The judge didn't just deny the request, he openly mocked it, reportedly telling Lively's legal team, "Your lawyers are stupid."
Your lawyers are stupid. It's like he's like being nice here. He's like, your lawyers are really stupid.
The unprecedented public rebuke left Lively visibly shaken in the courtroom, with witnesses describing her as terrified and almost shaking as her carefully constructed case crumbled before her eyes. But the judge wasn't done yet. In what might be the most damaging blow to Lively's case, he ordered that Thursday's court proceedings will feature a live audio feed, allowing the public unprecedented access to the legal battle. This means millions of people will hear firsthand as Lively's claims are scrutinized under oath.
Justin Baldoni universe, a judge is allowing the internet to join court. Not entirely for the whole court case, but for this Thursday, we'll be sharing live audio, not video, just audio of what goes.
With no PR spin to shield her from what unfolds. The origin of this explosive legal confrontation traces back to December 2024, when Lively filed a complaint with the California Civil Rights Department. She alleged that Baldoni and other actors had sexually harassed her on the set of It Ends With Us and were orchestrating a smear campaign against her. Lively's complaint included specific demands about creating a safe working environment, including no discussions about sexual conquests and no further mentions of cast and crew genitalia in her presence. Court documents reveal that Lively's legal team didn't just push for standard protective measures. They demanded extraordinary surveillance on Baldoni's life, seeking access to every aspect of his personal and professional communications since mid-2022. This overreach proved to be a critical tactical error that Judge Lyman pounced on immediately. "We're not able to hold a logical thought," the judge reportedly stated, But guess what? I, as a judge, I am able to hold logical thought, so we're going to slap that down. The judicial rebuke was particularly stinging because it occurred in open court, with spectators watching as Lively's attorneys scrambled to defend their excessive demands. Following the judge's devastating decision, witnesses report that Lively's demeanor changed dramatically. The normally composed actress was seen frantically whispering to her legal team, her face flushed with a mix of anger and embarrassment. When it became clear that her demands would not be met, Lively reportedly tried to maintain her composure, but the damage was already done. In a bizarre twist that has entertainment lawyers baffled, Lively's team refused to acknowledge defeat. Instead of recalibrating their approach, they continued filing additional subpoenas and motions, each one seemingly more desperate than the last. Judge Lyman, however, remained unmoved by these tactics, eventually granting Lively access to only 4 months of records, from August to December 2024, rather than the 2.5 years she had demanded. The most explosive development came from outside the courtroom when a leaked recording surfaced featuring Ari Emanuel, the powerful CEO of WME, William Morris Endeavor. In the audio, Emanuel allegedly admits that Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds personally orchestrated Baldoni's blacklisting in Hollywood. "I'm a ride or die," Emanuel reportedly stated, confirming he fired Baldoni at the power couple's request. Even more damning, Emanuel didn't even bother to get Baldoni's name right, referring to him dismissively as baloney.
This is the audio Blake and Ryan's agent seemingly didn't want you to hear.
I wonder if you could tell us about a little bit of a mess that I gather you've been involved in.
Oh yeah. I know where you're going with this one.
Do you have notes on it?
Oh yeah. Those are the two things I said to myself.
So he fired him. I'm a ride or die. That's why he did it. Because he basically said, okay, fine. Yeah, Ryan and Blake, I'm going to go with you. So you did that. You destroyed this man's life.
This revelation sent shockwaves through Hollywood as it directly contradicted Lively's portrayal of herself as the victim in this saga. The recording, which reportedly came from a Freakonomics podcast that mysteriously disappeared from all platforms shortly after airing, was only preserved because a journalist in attendance had secretly recorded the session. The timing of the podcast's disappearance has raised serious questions about the influence Lively and Reynolds wield in the entertainment industry. The aftermath of this revelation has exposed a darker side of Hollywood power dynamics.
And the thing that really sent the internet a storm was when they dug into her past interviews and realized that Blake Lively is, well, not a very kind.
And then something odd happened. The podcast didn't get recorded. Neither the audio nor the YouTube video, both just miraculously.
This isn't just about one legal case, an industry veteran explained. It's about who has the power to shape narratives and destroy careers with a single phone call. For many in Hollywood, the case has become a cautionary tale about the dangers of crossing powerful industry figures, regardless of the merits of any dispute. With her carefully crafted narrative collapsing around her, Lively has taken the extraordinary step of hiring former CIA Deputy Chief of Staff Nick Shapiro to manage her crisis PR.
Lively and Ryan Reynolds have hired former CIA agents with a proven track record of lying to the public, gaslighting the public.
The irony isn't lost on industry insiders. Lively, who accused Baldoni of running a smear campaign against her, is now employing one of the foremost experts in public opinion manipulation. Shapiro, known for his involvement in high-profile political damage control, now faces the daunting task of salvaging Lively's rapidly deteriorating public image. The hiring of Shapiro represents an escalation that has raised eyebrows even among Hollywood's most seasoned PR professionals.
And destroy the reputations of people that they don't like, or people perhaps that their clients don't like. But the question is, who do they do that on behalf?
When you bring in someone with intelligence community credentials to handle what started as a workplace harassment case, you're essentially admitting this is no longer about seeking justice. It's about controlling the narrative at all costs, noted one crisis management expert with decades of experience in celebrity scandals. Perhaps most telling is the sudden absence of Ryan Reynolds from his wife's side. Once her constant companion and defender, Reynolds has gone mysteriously quiet as the legal battle intensifies. Early in the proceedings, Reynolds was reportedly present at meetings where Lively's concerns were addressed, standing firmly by her side. However, as the case has unraveled and public opinion has shifted, Reynolds has become increasingly scarce at courthouse appearances. This conspicuous absence has not gone unnoticed by the media or the public. Speculation ranges from strategic PR decisions to potential strain in the couple's relationship as the case threatens both their reputations. Ryan built his brand on being likable and approachable, one entertainment journalist noted. Being associated with what's increasingly looking like an abuse of legal power could seriously damage that image. The damage to Lively's career prospects may already be materializing. Industry sources report that several high-profile projects that were in development with Lively attached are now being quietly reconsidered. While no official announcements have been made, the uncertainty surrounding both her public image and her availability amid ongoing legal proceedings has made studios nervous about committing to her involvement. This Thursday's live court audio feed promises to be a watershed moment in the ongoing saga. For the first time, fans and critics alike will hear directly from the courtroom without the filter of PR statements or carefully curated social media posts. Legal experts predict that the transparency will further erode Lively's position, as judges typically maintain decorum that prevents the kind of spin that celebrity PR teams specialize in. Live court feeds are the great equalizer, explained one legal commentator. No matter how many former CIA operatives you hire, you can't control what a judge says or how they say it. The raw, unfiltered nature of court proceedings tends to cut through even the most sophisticated PR strategies. As one insider puts it, the genie doesn't want to go back in the bottle. The genie likes to be free.
We weren't the first to do this. It was Blake Lively, it was Ryan Reynolds, this was their strategy, and now they kind of want to put the genie back in the bottle. But guess what? The genie does not want to go back in the bottle. The genie likes to be free.
With each new revelation, the distance between Blake Lively's public image and the emerging reality grows wider. The entertainment world watches with bated breath as one of Hollywood's most pristine reputations hangs in the balance. The implications of this case extend beyond just Lively and Baldoni. It has become a referendum on how power operates in Hollywood, who wields it, and how it's used against those with less industry clout. For many struggling actors and crew members, the case represents a rare glimpse into the machinery that can make or break careers based on personal relationships rather than merit. The drama is far from over, and the countdown to Thursday's live audio feed has begun. Will Blake Lively manage to salvage her reputation, or is this the beginning of a spectacular fall from grace? Will Ryan Reynolds eventually return to publicly support his wife, or will his continued absence speak volumes about the deteriorating situation? And perhaps most importantly, will this case fundamentally change how power and influence function in Hollywood?